Hello, and welcome back to the Burnt Pancakes podcast. I am your host, Katie Fensky, and like always, I'm here to remind you that everyone burns their first pancake. We are heading into the holiday seasons, and I am bringing on a guest today who is a toy expert. So if you're having trouble figuring out what to get your kids for Christmas, this is the episode for you. I am going to sit down and have a conversation with Jeannie. She is the owner of one of my absolute favorite toy stores located in the city of Orange, and it's called Tiddlywinks. I'm going to pick her brain about how she got started in the toy business, what it's like running a toy store at Christmas time, and what are some of the hot toys that your kids are going to absolutely love. Jeannie has been a staple in my community for a very long time, and I know you are just going to love her as much as everyone in my community does. So stay tuned for this episode. Hi, Jeannie. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I am so excited. The holidays are coming up.
Yep.
And we need an expert to tell us all about toys.
Okay. It's funny that you think I'm an expert, but okay, I'll do my best.
You're a toy guru, a toy expert. So you own a store called Tiddlywinks.
I do.
Near our wonderful home in Orange. Tell us how you got into the toy business and starting your store.
So Tiddlywinks came about. We have 2 kids, and we've lived in Orange over 20 years now. And when we were here, it was essentially all antique stores.
Yes.
There was one little clothing store that we loved to go to, but nothing else was here.
I grew up in Orange.
Okay.
And our Saturdays, Sundays,
yeah,
we would go have breakfast, and then my parents would be like, let's go antiquing. And my sister and I are like, oh, no.
Right. So it was kind of a opportunity. I came from a very different background. I came from an apparel background, and Gil's an engineer. So we were way off. Yeah, we were way off. But I grew up in an entrepreneur family, so I always knew I wanted my own. Okay. I just never knew what.
Okay.
So literally our process was every New Year's Day, we would go to Barnes & Noble, we would get the Entrepreneur magazine, and this was our thing. And we would go through it, and what would we want? So we came across this great toy store in Denver. And we pursued it, and we went after it, and we were going to be a franchise. But then when we saw what the franchise was, we decided not to pursue that. Oh, wow. But we still knew Orange had the opportunity, and we jumped, and we kind of got into it. And it was just a thing of luck. And it's, the whole old adage of location, mm-hmm. That is so true.
Yes.
So we were very welcomed by the community. It was a time of transition to where so many young families were coming. Mm-hmm. And it's luck.
And you were one of the first retail stores to take
kind
of come in, and then all the restaurants started coming.
Right.
And then
Right.
So it really changed.
So we were very, very lucky. The community is phenomenal to us.
They are so great.
They're so great.
I think of your store kind of like You've Got Mail.
I've heard
the
that
shop
before.
around
what
the corner.
A nice
it's like
little compliment.
the little shop that just everyone adores.
Oh, so nice.
We just love it. Like if we have birthdays, if we have Christmas, it's like, oh, go to Tiddlywinks.
Nice.
Have you always been in that same location?
We've always been in the same location. We're on 11. We just had our 11-year anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But getting to move locations soon.
But we are now moving. Yep. So we are moving literally 100 of my steps to the right. And we're taking over a space of a business that was there for 30 some years. So we're hoping that juju gets rubbed off on us, and we get to last another 30 years.
Oh, that's a big move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where did the name Tiddlywinks come from?
So Tiddlywinks came from my husband, Gil. We were just throwing names out there, and he's the one that came up with it and pulled it. And we asked all of our friends, all of our family, and they're like, yep, that's the one. That's it. Yeah, so it was kind of, that's his input. That's his claim to fame.
It's very catchy, too. Oh, it's like, that's my part.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have, I would say, more unique toys in there, like stuff that you don't find in just your general retail store. So where do you find the toys that you put in the store?
So we are definitely very classic. We always had the mindset of sticking to when in Rome. Obviously, Orange is very antique, mm-hmm. very traditional, and that's what we stick to. We have sales reps, and we have brands that we pursue, a lot of European brands that we pursue.
Okay.
But as far as finding new items, literally, I count on my customers. My customers have been lovely in telling me, you got to get this, you got to get that.
See, I don't know any of these things. I go to you because I need to know, where do I get the good toys?
So they're very vocal. Yeah. So I hear a lot from my customers. My staff is phenomenal. They are constantly, because it's the age, on social media. I have a really young mom who's really into it as well. So whenever she travels or whenever she shops, any of them, they're always in any local toy store or in any
Where
local
do you find
store.
that?
Where is this? What is this? Get this. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it's a lot of research. It's a lot of fun, obviously. Yeah. Every time the UPS man, it's like Christmas for us.
So
yeah,
fun.
so it's really good. It's a but again, it's the mindset of being classic, being traditional, being just very in the involvement of having.
So you have a good niche. Like yours is,
Thank you.
Oh, very interesting. So when I was a kid in the 80s, there was always like a hot toy for the season. So it was like, my mom said she waited in line for hours to buy us a Captain Touch. And now I'm like, now as a mom, I'm like, oh, now I get it, Mom. Like,
absolutely.
Or Teddy Ruxpin.
Right.
Is that the thing anymore to have like,
it's a different era now, right? Because where before we would see it on TV, there's no more TV. Kids aren't doing that.
Or fast forward those commercials. Skip that ad.
Right. All the yucky ones. So kids aren't sitting watching cartoons on Saturday morning. They're not doing that. It's all YouTube. It's all, unfortunately, social media, whatever the kids are on. So it's much different now. A lot of friend influence, a lot of just, I don't know where they're finding, but again, it always for us, because of who we are. Yeah. It goes back to the classics. Little boys love trucks and trains and, and rough and sports and playing and, young ladies. And not that that's what they're pegged into, but, if it isn't that child, we always ask when anyone comes in, they're looking for a gift. Okay, do they have siblings? Because normally the siblings are a huge influence as well. Not only just what they like, but also developmentally, right? Because the younger is always influenced by the older. Oh my
gosh, 100. The things that my oldest played with at my youngest age, so different.
Right, absolutely.
Like he's growing up a lot faster because he has the older brothers.
Yeah. So that key, prize toy of the season kind of doesn't exist anymore. No, it's very generalized now.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so what would be some of the best sellers that you have for girls, boys? What are things that sell really well in your store?
So again, classic for us, right? So for boys, it seems to be either science is really great, just because science gets them involved in not only building, and there's different kinds of science. There's the engineering of it. There's the chemistry of it, which a lot of kids really get into because there's a cause and effect of it. Also with the engineering.
Or just like the hands-on
right,
stuff.
Absolutely. And having the pride of being able to build something, that's always really great. So boys and girls, the science has been really great for us. And for parents, it's something that they can do for a long time, right?
I was thinking the same thing. This is a toy that they will actually be involved with. Right. It's not like, done, pass it on.
Exactly. So that's always great. And if we can get parent involvement in there as well, I mean, that's what kids really love, is just to be able to sit with mom and dad, right?
Yes.
And do something with them and spend time with them, whatever it is. So science has been really great. Again, still the classics of trucks we have a brand of trucks, which Brooder, which are lovely. They have an amazing quality.
Love them.
And all of the details of it, from the fire truck that has a ladder that squirts water and pulls a
We have that one.
Right, I know you
got
do.
it for Christmas.
There's not many you don't have.
But what I love about those, my boys are so rough on their toys.
Yeah.
Like my mother-in-law gave us toys that my husband played with.
Wow.
And they're like 30 some years
right,
old.
Right.
My boys got them, and within a week, it's like the wheel's missing this.
Bummer.
They are so rough on their toys.
Bummer.
So those Brooder trucks, I'm like, we've had them for 2 years.
Right.
You can't break them.
Right.
They've tried. They've tried very hard.
But in the mindset of the toys that your mother-in-law passed along, so Brio is another one for trains. I mean, those is they're a classic that have been around forever. And still do really well. We have a ton of grandparents that have passed on to their grandkids and are now just supplementing that set that they have.
And those are great because it's like you can get the starter kit.
Right.
And then add to it as the years go on.
Right. And that's what I always suggest to parents. I mean, we have the big kit. I mean, to give the big wow gift for sure. But my suggestion is don't get that one. Get the little smaller set and build on it, right? Yeah. I mean, there's potty training that's coming. There's, accolades from school. There's so many things that you can just build onto it that isn't a huge...
That's how our collection got so big because we like, oh, your birthday, now your birthday.
Right.
And it was started with Ronan and then Jet plays it. And now Maverick loves the train. So that's one that it's like, can't get rid of these yet because Maverick's still playing with them.
Absolutely.
Okay. So trains,
Yep,
trucks.
For girls, again, science is really great. We do, again, pretend play. I mean, just the classics. Pretend play has been phenomenal. We have this little brand out of Europe. I believe it's Sweden, I'm guessing. And it's called My Lie, and it's lovely. It's these little mice that belong in a little box, and they live in the little box, the little blanket, and they're dressed, and they're just, and the whole world, the house and the kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
Bathroom has a sink and a toilet. I mean, it's just the cutest little
like
thing.
a little dollhouse.
It's a very much dollhouse. Yeah. And it's the pretend play of the dollhouse. And that's what we have. I mean, and it's that. Calico critters are really good. It's the pretend play. Arts and crafts for both boys and girls are really lovely. We tend to do brands. There's a brand called Uli out of San Diego that's lovely. And for those older kids that are 8-ish, anything that's different, like calligraphy pins that they haven't had their hands on, or any kind of medium that's different from what is a crayon or a paint or a water paint. They do an amazing job.
Oh my gosh.
Those.
I'm making a note of that because I think my 9-year-old would love.
Yeah.
Because I think once he saw, what is it, like a feather pen, like an ink, and was like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, really? I didn't know you'd be interested in that. But that's why you're so great. Because I can go in there and say, hey, Ronan's birthday's coming up.
Thank you.
What do I get? And Megan told me, so my friend also shops there. She once went in there to get something for her middle.
Okay.
And she was like, I was thinking about getting this. And you were like, oh, no. Katie already bought that for him. So it's like, you know your customers.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
It's just, it's so rare in this day and age where we're used to just going on Amazon, picking out something that's there the next day.
Yeah.
So how do you, as a small business, compete with like that and Walmart?
So Amazon doesn't, recognize you when you come in the door. Doesn't give you that personal, you have a birthday present. She already got this, that. It's the customer service that we really pride ourselves on. I mean, my staff as well. And we pick staff, as hard it is to hire. We still pick staff that really fits in and is able to do that. I'm lucky enough to where my community has welcomed me, and I get to
keep coming back.
Coming back. I get to see from the belly up until how it's Ronan 9, 10. So from we started.
Right.
I mean, so it's lovely, and that's what we pride ourselves on, and that's how we can compete. We can't compete with prices. We can't compete otherwise.
Delivery.
We do local delivery, but we can't deliver within 10 minutes.
Right.
But it's that customer service and the relationships that we've had, and that has helped us survive. Right. I mean, it's lovely.
Well, you still wrap gifts, birthday gifts.
We wrap. Yep, we wrap
during COVID.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, during COVID, when we were all freaking out, like our kids are home, what do we do?
Right.
We were like, Jeannie, we need
Easter baskets.
We need this.
Huge,
we need that. And you delivered them to our house.
Absolutely.
Or I was like, I have a friend who's stuck at home with her kids. Can you send her over this toy?
Absolutely.
Like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazon doesn't do that.
Yeah. No, Amazon doesn't do that. Yeah. But I mean, we were just as lucky during COVID in that we were at the store and streets were desolate. I mean, just like no one.
Did you panic?
Oh my God, completely. Because I sat in the middle of the store and said, what am I going to do?
No one's allowed to come in.
But out of the blue, at least every day, multiple times a day, knocking on the door, my usual customers would come in. Don't open the door. I just want to make sure you're okay and everything. I mean, just like and that's why I do what I do.
Yes.
It's just lovely.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Okay, so we're heading into this very busy season.
Yep.
What's it like running a store at Christmas time?
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
It's like tax season for
it is. Yeah, it is. We are full on. We are fully staffed. And again, because we wrap, that's why a big reason why a lot of customers come to us as well. They leave and the kids can't see anything, right? So it's busy. We are fully stocked. We are ready with bikes and trucks and art and science and all of it that is needed right now.
Do you have a warehouse or like extra storage, or is everything?
We have extra storage for sure. And then we do a lot of drop ships also. So this year we have like a lot of ride-ons, a trash truck and a motorcycle and things like that, to where our manufacturers are now drop shipping that big stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, which is really great.
That's online then, or is that in your store?
Online, yeah. So we have a couple of samples in store, and we have a little bit of inventory in store of that, but there's also a bigger selection that's online.
Okay.
Yep.
I might have to go look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
I think my
Yep.
voice would. Okay, so then you have super busy schedule,
Yep.
and your move is happening when? You're moving.
The move is
locations?
happening is after Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah. So once Christmas is over, we lock it up and start bringing everything down, and then move everything over. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be crazy.
It's a little crazy.
Do you have to like redo the location you're moving
Yeah,
into?
the location that we were in was 30 years. They were there for 30 years. So there was a lot of knockdown. Yep. There was a lot of knockdown, a lot of everything, but it's an amazing space. It's very pretty.
It's gonna be just as wonderful.
Yeah. And it's, I didn't want to touch any of the, there's like these big beams, and there's even like there was old electrical wire that my contractor said, no, you got to get rid of that. but
it's unique.
It's historical. Absolutely.
Right.
So all of that we're not painting. We're just kind of leaving just because it's so lovely.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now your displays are something to see.
Thank
so
you.
when you walk down the street and you see your displays, like, do you do those? Do you have someone who does them?
I was doing them for the majority of the years prior.
Did you like major in that?
No, God, no. Oh, God, no. It's children. As being a mother and having children. Yeah, it's just the imaginative of it. Absolutely. Right. But now I have this lovely manager. Her name is Tori. She's a young mom. So again, just passing on,
there you go.
Passing on the baton, and she loves to do it, and she's super great at it. Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
It's like really you stop to look at the display.
Yeah, they're really great.
Are you going to have a display at your next location?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is there space for
absolutely.
it? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I've walked by a few times, I peeked in, and I'm like, what's it going to look like? It's going to look so different.
Yeah.
Okay. So if people want to find you,
yes,
that don't have the fortune of living where we live,
yes,
how can we find you?
We're online. So tiddlywinks.com.
Okay.
And we deliver locally within Orange, and then obviously we ship also.
Okay,
yep.
Awesome. And we can also find you on Instagram.
Yep, Instagram, Facebook if you're still on Facebook. Yep, and we're very, very active on there. Yep, and you can connect to the website from Instagram as well.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you for coming
Thanks
on and
for
sharing
me.
all of your toy knowledge.
Thanks
I'm ready to
me.
go shopping.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, moms, it's time to get out a list and start planning what you're going to get your kids for Christmas. I will make sure to link the toys mentioned below in the show notes. So if something sounded like a good idea for you, you can check that out. And if you live in the Orange area, then check out Jeannie's store, Tiddlywinks, or find her online if you want to do some online shopping for this amazing small business. So until next week's conversation, I want to remind you that everyone burns their first pancake, so just keep flipping.